Pan-Africanism is more than just a movement. It is a powerful ideology that has shaped the political landscape of Africa for over a century. At its heart, Pan-Africanism embodies the idea of unity among African nations and the African diaspora, aimed at collective liberation, self-determination, and solidarity in the face of colonial and post-colonial challenges. From its roots in the early 20th century independence movements to its current manifestation in the African Union, Pan-Africanism remains a vital force in Africa's political and cultural evolution. The birth of Pan-Africanism and the fight for independence. The seeds of Pan-Africanism were sown in the early 20th century as African intellectuals, activists, and leaders began to resist colonial rule. Figures such as W.E.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey played instrumental roles in rallying the African diaspora and advocating for the rights and freedoms of African people globally. The 1945 Pan-African Congress in Manchester, England, marked a turning point as it brought together leaders who would later spearhead African independence movements, including Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana and Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya. Nkrumah, in particular, became the torchbearer of Pan-Africanism when he led Ghana to independence in 1957, making it the first sub-Saharan African nation to break free from colonial rule. Nkrumah's vision extended beyond Ghana's borders. He believed that the liberation of the continent could only be achieved through African unity. His famous declaration, "The independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Africa," became a rallying cry for Pan-Africanists across the continent. The momentum generated by Nkrumah and other African leaders led to the formation of the Organization of African Unity in 1963. The OAU's primary objective was to support African liberation movements, promote unity, and defend the sovereignty of African nations. However, despite its symbolic importance, the OAU struggled to fulfill its vision. Internal conflicts, ideological differences, and a focus on non-interference in member states' affairs often hindered its effectiveness. The transition to the African Union. As Africa entered the 21st century, it became clear that the OAU needed reform to address the continent's evolving challenges. In 2002, the African Union was established as a successor to the OAU. The AU aimed to build on the foundations of Pan-Africanism while adopting a more proactive approach to economic development, security, and human rights. Unlike its predecessor, the AU was designed with mechanisms to intervene in the internal affairs of member states, particularly in cases of human rights abuses and unconstitutional changes of government. The AU's Constitutive Act empowered it to promote peace and stability on the continent, reflecting a shift from the OAU's policy of non-interference to one of non-indifference. The AU has taken significant steps in addressing Africa's challenges, particularly in conflict resolution. Its peacekeeping missions in countries like Somalia, Sudan, and Mali demonstrate the organization's commitment to stabilizing conflict zones and preventing further violence. Additionally, the AU's focus on economic integration has led to the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which aims to create a single market for goods and services across the continent. Pan-Africanism in the modern era. While the AU has made strides in addressing Africa's political and economic challenges, the spirit of Pan-Africanism remains central to its mission. Pan-Africanism today is not just about political unity. It is also about cultural, social, and economic solidarity. The concept of African solutions to African problems emphasizes the need for African-led initiatives and development strategies, rather than reliance on external actors. Cultural Pan-Africanism has gained prominence in recent years, particularly in the arts, fashion, and entertainment. The rise of Afrobeats, the global influence of African fashion, and the success of African filmmakers like Nigeria's Nollywood are all examples of how Pan-Africanism transcends politics and manifests in the cultural renaissance of the continent. Moreover, the Pan-African movement continues to address issues of identity and belonging among the African diaspora. Initiatives like Ghana's Year of Return in 2019 which commemorated 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in the Americas, sought to reconnect Africans in the diaspora with their roots. This cultural diplomacy highlights the enduring relevance of Pan-Africanism in fostering a sense of unity among Africans worldwide. Challenges facing the African Union and Pan-Africanism. Despite the progress made, both the AU and the broader Pan-African movement face significant challenges. The AU's ability to respond effectively to crisis is often hampered by limited resources and political divisions among member states. Conflicts in the Sahel region, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, among others, reveal the complexities of maintaining peace and security on a continent with diverse and often competing interests. Corruption and governance issues also pose significant obstacles to the AU's mission. While the AU promotes democracy and good governance, several member states continue to grapple with authoritarianism, human rights abuses, and political instability. These challenges not only undermine the AU's credibility, but also weaken the broader Pan-African agenda of unity and progress. Economically, Africa still faces significant hurdles, including poverty, inequality, and underdevelopment. While the AfCFTA holds promise for boosting intra-African trade and economic growth, it requires strong political will and cooperation among member states to be fully realized. Additionally, the continent's heavy reliance on foreign aid and external debt continues to stifle its economic independence, a key tenet of Pan-Africanism. The future of Pan-Africanism. The future of Pan-Africanism depends on the ability of African nations to adapt to a rapidly changing global landscape while staying true to the principles of unity and self-determination. The AU's Agenda 2063, which envisions an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, reflects the continent's aspirations for the future. This vision draws directly from the ideals of Pan-Africanism, emphasizing African-led development, good governance, and cultural renaissance. As Africa navigates the challenges of the 21st century, the spirit of Pan-Africanism remains a guiding force. The continent's young and dynamic population, coupled with its rich cultural heritage and natural resources, presents immense potential for growth and development. By embracing Pan-African ideals and fostering greater cooperation, African nations can overcome the obstacles they face and chart a path toward a brighter future. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rich history and ongoing significance of Pan-Africanism, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more engaging content on Africa's past, present, and future. Thank you for watching.